Hello Internet friends, this is Tim Schrock from Design Build Solutions bringing you today's Tech Tip Tuesday. Once again I'm working on Chief Architect Premiere version X9 on my iMac desktop computer. This morning I measured an existing conditions home and I came up with this situation here where I have a sloped ceiling and I wanted to quickly show you how I kind of model that and figure out what pitch that is at. So what I did was I measured the height of this wall and then the height to this shoulder here. Okay, so I know this number. Let me just double check. This is 8'3.5". And this number is 6'10". And then I also measured, I tried to approximate as best as I could plumb from that point and measured over to the wall here. And that number is 21 inches. There. So once I have 2 out of those 3 numbers, I can actually draw an example. And this is what I did here. I've got 8'3.5", 21 inches wide, and the shoulder at 6'10" tall here. Now the width of this really doesn't matter. I just need this point right here at the wall. And I'm going to pretend, I'm going to hit F10 to take my angle snaps off. There is my my pitch. If I want to know the pitch, I can find the angle here, and what I did was I drew the line. I double-clicked on the line to open my line specification dialog box. And when I'm in here, I can click on number style and select pitch. And right there it tells me it's a 10-12 pitch roof. Let's go back to number style because I like degrees most of the time. And then all I've got to do is put angle snaps back on, go into roof mode, and give that a 10 pitch. I'm going to say 12 on the eaves and gables. I'm going to join these by selecting the top edge of one of these and hitting the number 2 key on my keyboard. Number 2 is the one that is the quick shortcut for joining 2 roofs, two edges really, not just the ridges but hips and valleys as well. Last but not least is just now I've got to set because the way roofs is drawn at the top of the wall plate here, I just have to set my elevation properly. So I actually want to draw this at, so from the edge of the drywall and the top of the floor finish, it goes up 6'10". So as I'm drawing my rectangle, I clicked my start point here and dragged out and hit the tab key. The X position doesn't matter, it's the Y position, 6'10". Enter. Now I'm just going to draw a straight line from that point. This is where that shoulder should be at that 10. I'm going to copy this over here. I'm going to point-to-point move. That's where my roof should be. So let's measure a straight line up from here, and that is 6'7". So let's go back to plan view, hit Q on my keyboard. I'm going to shift, drag across there, and move, transform, replicate, move in -6'7". Whoops. Transform, replicate again, Z delta because it's going down toward the floor, minus, not star, 6'7". Now, interestingly, let's make that 21 inches. That is pretty doggone close where that ceiling break line is. And let's see. Now that is pretty close. What I did though, in a little bit of hindsight here, is I measured to the rafter, and the 6'10" really is to the drywall of that ceiling that's on the rafter. So I need to raise them back up. Let's go 11/16 of an inch. So I'm going to select the 2 again, transform, replicate, and positive because I need to go up toward the ridge, 11/16 of an inch. Now my 21 inches is my ceiling break line is exactly 21 inches away from the wall. Go into the cross section. There's my angle. Let's make that red so we can see it. And we'll do dashed. And let's turn on our line weights. There you can see that's the angle that I drew based on my numbers that I measured, and it fits exactly where I want it to be. I'm going to turn off my line weights and close this out, and do not need to save. So in brief, quickly, take your field measurements, get the height at the shoulder, the height at the top of the ceiling, and the width of what that might be. You could also figure out what that length, if you want to physically measure something, I could have measured this length on the angle. You know, that might have been a little more precise. From there, what I'd have to do is I'd have to draw this like so. Let's say I knew that measurement was 27 and a half. What I would do is I'd probably draw a circle about the center and go 27 and a half in the x direction, and that from the center of the circle to where that arc meets the 3.5 is the angle. So you could get that. Once I've got the pitch, once I've got this line drawn, I can go open the line specification dialog box, check number style, and select pitch, and that will tell me in the angle box right here the pitch of the roof. Let's go back to angle degrees. From there, I drew the pitch of the roof I drew the roof in that pitch, and took a section view and moved it in the appropriate elevation to where that needed to be. Hey, I hope this has been helpful. This is Tim Schrock from Design Build Solutions. If you've learned something or found this as a new way of drawing things or measuring things, please leave an encouragement. Drop me a thumbs up here in the below. Yes, and as always, subscribe, follow. We will be releasing videos like this and more coming up in weeks to come. So I hope you have a great week. Take care.